Hi everyone, welcome to practice. My name is Jessica and today we are doing part number 4 of the intro series. So we are moving through basic asanas again. We are doing different parts of the body. Today we are a little bit more focusing on hamstrings maybe, as well as lengthening the whole back of your body. By the way, I have a towel, or you may have a blanket handy, as well as 2 blocks. So let's get started. And we're going to start today on the back. We're going to send the feet down onto the mat, having hip width distance, and then scoop the tail slightly forward and roll back onto the long line of your spine. And for a couple moments to arrive here, you may use your elbows to press them down into the mat and scoop your shoulders a bit closer together. And roll your sacrum down into the mat. You may bring your inner knees to touch or keep them open in hip width distance, whatever feels better. And then close your eyes for a moment to allow yourself to arrive here. Feel the soles of your feet rooting down into the earth, the back of your hips, pelvis, shoulder girdle, upper arms, elbows, and parts of your hands, the backs of your palms rooting into the earth, as well as the back of your skull sinking down. And then draw your awareness on your breath. Find your rhythm of extended in and exhales. And with the exhales, you may just send away whatever you have been doing so far. Clear off your mat and get ready for practice. One more round like this. Long inhalation. And a complete exhalation. Create a smile around your lips before you open your eyes. And then take one knee into your chest and the other one as well. Draw your knees wide open. Get hold of inner knees and then circle them back away from you so they can touch again and draw them back in. Give yourself a squeeze, a hug. You may get hold of your palms or the opposite elbow and lift your face, your nose towards your knees. And then release the back of your head down onto the mat. Interlace the fingers around the right shin bone and extend your left. See whether you can keep the heel grounded or whether you want to bend the knee if this feels better. Find out what works for you. Draw the knee into your chest, lower your shoulders down. And now change the grip and find the middle of your hamstring. So not around your knee crease and not down to your butt. Find the center of your hamstring muscle and pull your leg into your chest while you use the strength of your leg to push into your palms. Keep the knee, the right knee bent, and see how much you can flex your toes towards your knee. Intensify the stretch, these flexed toes, into calf and Achilles, while you are working into this hamstring on your right. And down, slowly bend this right knee, get your left palm over, and maybe you have a block handy. Take your left palm over this right knee and roll over towards your left outer hip and scoop your right hip over this left hip. Take the block with you if needed and place it below your right inner knee. Roll the right shoulder down and find the first spinal twist here. Let the hips stack on top of one another and find this ringing sensation around your belly, around your navel and these abdominal organs. Stay here for another breath. Deep inhale and exhale completely. Roll back onto your spine. Scoop the hip back into center. Use your left leg as a momentum stick to come into an upright seat for another twist, another spinal twist. So draw the right knee into your chest and sit nice and tall. And then step the right foot over the left and draw your elbow around this right knee. The right fingertips behind. Pull your knee towards your left shoulder, left armpit, while extending the spine and keeping the extended leg active, flexing the foot. Level your hips, sit nice and tall, and draw your gaze over towards your right shoulder. Inhale. Stay for the complete exhale and come back to center. Interlace fingers around this right knee. Draw the knee in and bring both knees into the chest. Give yourself another hug. Change the grip. Lift your face, lift your nose, and release the shoulders away from your ears. And then lower back down and interlace fingers around the left shin bone. Extend through your right. Feel the stretch by stretching the femur bones away from one another. Feel free to bend this right knee if this seems to be a better option for you. Once again, interlacing fingers around the center of your left hamstring. Pull the leg in, flex these toes, and find out what the muscle is telling you. Couple solid breaths here. Helps the muscle to release. And then bend the left knee, get the right palm over, take the block with you to release the left inner knee on top of the block. Scoop the left hip over the right, flex the extended toes, and roll your left shoulder down your back. Deep in-breath. Long, complete exhale. And then lift the left knee back into center. Interlace fingers again. Use the right leg as a momentum to lift into an upright seat. Lengthen your spine, draw the knee into your core, and then place the foot over your right. Get your right arm around this left knee and pull the knee towards your right shoulder. Fingertips behind, level your shoulders, and gaze over your left. Inhale here. Stay for the exhale. Come back to center. Interlace the fingers around this left shin bone and find both knee bend. This hugging sensation again, where you draw your face even closer into your knees and release the shoulders away from the ears. Lower back down, change the grip. So get hold from behind, get the thighs, and then start rocking a little bit back and forth. Maybe twice or maybe 3 times to activate these long spinal muscles. And then we find a boat, an Navasana pose. And the first one will be with the fingertips around the hips, the knees 90 degrees bent, the toes flexed, and the spine extended. Stay here for 3, 2, and 1. Get hold of your thighs again from behind. Rock back and forth just once. Find the same position or extend your arms for 3, 2, and 1. One more like this. Find out what works. Extend the arms up into the ceiling. Lengthen your spine. And maybe straighten the legs just a tiny bit more. For 3, 2, and 1. And then get hold of your thighs and roll it back. Couple times before we come into a wide open squat into Malasana. We find the feet on the floor and see whether you can lift without your palms. Otherwise, use your fingertips. And there are a couple options for this Malasana if this does not work like this for you. So, the most comfy position is to sit on blocks and find the feet completely on the floor. Another option is to lift the heels if the feet can't be flat on the floor, and maybe using the blocks in front of you. Maybe you can lower a little bit more, or you can bring the feet down and lift your hips a little. There are many options for this position. Find out what works for you. And then rock your hips a little from side to side. It's a big hip opener. And try to find a way to extend the spine. Come into center. Lift hips slightly and widen your feet so the feet are standing onto the outer edges of your mat. If you are much taller than I am, you probably have to widen your feet much more further. And then we find a forward fold. So the knees are pretty much bent and the ribs are melting into your inner thighs and the fingertips should touch the floor. If this is not possible, again, the blocks or books are in front of you and you can help yourself. For the idea is that the fingertips are touching on something, and while doing so, you can send your shoulders away from your ears and you can lift your sit bones higher by moving the weight forward into your forefeet and into your fingertips. And then gently lower down again. So the heels are slightly coming in, the toes are pointing out, and you find another one of these Malasana. Whatever makes sense for you in the second round. Lifting the hips, sinking down further. Using your elbows to bring them into your thighs, into your calves. And maybe even bringing the palms to touch in front of heart center. Inhale here. And with the exhale, fingertips are coming down. And once again, open the feet a little so the outer edges are parallel. And you find a second forward fold. And maybe this one is already easier to lengthen the legs a little bit more, to lifting your sit bones higher, but not to lose the connection between ribs and inner thighs. And then from here, bend the knees a little more, draw the chin into your throat, and round up to an upright standing position. Take the arms with you, lift your gaze, and bring the palms in prayer in front of heart center. And now we close the feet into hip width distance and have a few half salutes first, and then coming into a full salute. Inhale, sweep the arms up and over half. With the exhale, turn the palms away from the center and start to lean forward, this time with a straight spine. Bend your knees. Finally, you bring your fingertips down onto the mat or onto the block, whatever makes sense. And you lower your head down. Draw the chin into your throat. Inhale to extend from here. Bring palms onto the tops of your chin bone to extend the spine. And with the exhale, fold. Chin into chest. Open the arms wide, press into your feet, and rise all the way up. Palms in prayer in front of heart center. Inhale again. Open the arms wide. Gather the energy. Turn the palms open and lean and fold forward. Uttanasana. Fingertips down on something. Draw the chin into your throat. Feel the contraction around your thyroid. And then bring palms onto chin bones. Extend the spine. And fold over legs again. Open the arms wide. Press into feet. And rise all the way up. Palms in prayer. In front of heart center. Inhale, rise and open wide. Forward with an extended long spine. Bend your knees as much as you have to. Fingertips down. Draw chin into chest. Inhale, extend the spine. Exhale to fold. Bend both of your knees deeply. Place both palms down and step it back into a downward facing dog. So you take a big step with both of your feet. Find a hip width distance at least in between your feet. A bend within your knees, and you lift your hips high. Deep in-breath. Press your palms down and forward. Release your head in between your straight arms. And you may roll the head slightly from side to side to make sure that there is no extra tension around your neck muscles. Bring the head to stillness in between your upper arms. Push your hips up. Lengthen the sidelines. Still with a bend within your knees. The heels do not have to touch. And the legs do not have to be straight. Inhale, lift both of your heels. And send your feet over towards your right. Find out whether you can place both soles down in front of one another. Have a gentle bit of a bend within both of your knees and send your hips up into the right back corner of your mat. Feel the stretch on your left sideline, waistline, all the way down towards your small pinky on the left palm. Inhale, come back to center, high onto tippy toes, and roll both feet over towards your left. Have a bend within both of your knees, and lift your hips into the diagonal towards your left back corner of the mat. Feel the stretch. Maybe the stretch is having a different sensation compared to the other side. Lift your legs back to center and find downward facing dog again. Lift your heels. Bend your knees slightly, look forward and find a plank, top of a push-up with a straight line on your back. Bring the knees down onto the mat, point the toes away from you and find a child's pose for a quick rest. You may bring your arms into cactus Lower your forehead down, maybe the block is handy, or you bring your palms over one another. And take a deep breath here. Deep in breath and a long out breath. Lift your heart back up. Walk the palms out so the arms are extended. Roll forward. Bring the feet into a parallel shape. Curl the toes under. Arch your spine, tilt your pelvis, look over the front edge of your mat, and then press into palms. Release your heart in between upper arms by lifting the hips high. Deep in-breath and a long exhale. Lift both of your heels and turn both feet again over towards your right. Draw the hips back towards your heels and extend here. Now you are coming forward and the weight is on your right palm. You are scooping your right hip under and find out whether you can bring your left palm into your left hip to rise the hips or extend this left arm overhead. Maybe reaching it up all the way alongside your temple. Roll your chest up into the ceiling. And then circle this left arm down. Take your gaze back down. Send it back into downward facing dog. Building strength. Take an in-breath. Let's take it over towards the other side. Lift your heels. Place both feet in front of one another. Bend the knees. Send your hips back. The right fingertips are already releasing. And then press into your left palm. Scoop your left hip under. Take your right fingers into your hips first to rise here. And then extend the arm. Lift the hips as high as possible. And then maybe sending the arm overhead, creating this lifting shape like a banana a little. And then take your gaze down, circle the right arm back down, come back to center, bend the knees, and send yourself back into downward facing dog. Lift your heels and roll and glide forward into plank. And we're going to lower down in one long line. Feel free to take your knees down if needed. Take an in-breath, send your shoulders slightly in front of your wrists, bend your elbows. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And release completely down. Have nothing in front of you so you can lower the forehead on both of your palms. The feet are having an outer hip width distance, the toes are pointing away, and you rest here for a moment. Deep in-breath and a long exhale. Inhale, lift and come into swings. So the forearms are parallel towards one another. The elbows are just below the shoulders. Press into your feet. Root down through your pubic bone and lift. Lift your chest and heart by sending your shoulders down your back. Maybe even lifting your gaze, but only if there are no issues within your neck. Otherwise, you just gaze into the front. One last breath here. Stay for the exhale. And down slowly, lower down. Bring the palms around your chest. Press down into your feet. And rise into a cobra. And over the knees, curl the toes under. Downward facing dog. Deep inhale and a long exhale. Lift your right leg, send it high, and draw the knee into your core. And we've done this in the last video. Climb onto the tippy toes on your left foot and find out where you can land the foot. Step it right away forward. Step into the middle of your mat to help the foot to come forward. Whatever makes sense for you. This time we try to do it without the blocks, but I have the blocks still in front of me, so if you would love to have them below your palms, feel free. We're going to step onto this right foot. The L shape we used before already. And this time we're going to draw the knee towards the nose and round the spine here. Inhale to extend. Exhale to draw the knee and the nose together. Inhale one more. Draw it in. And now we try to bring this left foot, maybe without touching, all the way into your front. What we call pistol squat. And now sink back down. We have been here earlier. We're going to have another twist here. So you may keep this leg extended, or you may get it towards your hip, if you know this Ardha Matsyendrasana. If you take this version, you try not to let the hip or the glute or the butt sink onto your left heel. You try to sit inside, draw the knee into your chest again. Hug the knee, and this time we're going to do a Shakti grip. So the fingers are coming into one another, pulling the elbows apart, sitting nice and tall, and gazing into your right. And slowly release. Fingertips down. We're going to send the weight forward into this right foot. So maybe it helps to do it from behind. Find out what works. Send the weight into your right foot. Use your blocks if they had helped you before. Extend this left leg. Step the left leg long. Frame your front foot. Scoop the heel in and take it back into downward facing dog. So this fun flow, we take it towards the other side. So we lift the left leg. Find your option to step through. Either right away or step this medium step in between. Take your fingers on blocks or keep them down on the earth to step into this L shape. You need a distance for the fingertips or for the blocks, so the fingers are just below your shoulders. And then draw the knee towards your nose. Inhale to extend. Exhale to draw the knee in. One more like this. Inhale, extend. Draw the knee in. And now we try to bring this foot through. Using the fingertips somewhere. Extend the leg and sink back down. Take the left one over. And you may keep this right one extended. Or take the second version. The full seated twist in Ardha Matsyendrasana. The right elbow is hugging this left knee in. You are bringing the fingers again into this grip where the fingers are into one another. Lengthen the spine and pull the elbows away from one another. Inhale here. And with the exhale, come back to center. We unwind the legs, bring the soles of the feet together for Baddha Konasana. Get hold of the inner ankles with both of your palms to sit nice and tall. And then find out where you can send your elbows into your leg to press the knees a little bit further out. And actually here it may be helpful to place the feet on a towel or blanket, for instance. It's getting a little bit easier. Pressing the elbows down, extending your spine. And feel the stretch in your outer hips, in your inner thighs, inner groins. And finally, find a rounding sensation by cupping your toes with your palms or bringing the elbows down onto your blanket or towel and release forehead. Maybe you use a block down on something. Find a rounding sensation for the whole line of your spine. Rise. Bring palms down and roll back up. Put the towel away. And we find another forward fold, scooping the hips back towards the center of your mat. Sit nice and tall. Lean your torso against your thighs and get hold of your outer feet. Find extended spine. See how much you can walk your feet out without losing this contact again. So the ribs are still in touch with your thighs. If this means you're going to stop here, please stop here. Whatever you choose, whether you widen the distance again, find out how this feels on the back line of your legs while moving further and further out, or just keeping the knees bent somewhere on the way. Couple good solid breaths here. You may change the grip, or you may get around your ankles if you think you can pull yourself further over. And slowly release. Bend the knees a bit more. Scoop your hips forward right now to lay back down. And lower down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Draw the navel in and roll down segment by segment till you finally take the whole length of your spine down. Take your legs up into the air. Give them a shake. And for our last pose, we're going to interlace the palms around the backs of your thighs. And you may bring the legs a bit closer. You may send them a little bit further away. A supported Viparita Karani, which you may do also against the wall. If you have the wall and you just have to turn around, you may put your legs at the wall and then you don't need your arms. Last 3 deep breaths here. Slowly rebend your knees. Draw your knees into your outer armpits. Roll a little bit from side to side. Knowing that you reached your destination, the destination of Shavasana. And then come into stillness. Place one foot down and the other one. Extend your arms long alongside your hips. Reach your legs out. Let the toes fall open. If you think you still have to scoop the shoulders closer together, please feel free to do so. Close your eyes. Take one deep cleansing breath. So a deep in-breath. Open the mouth. stay still for moments to come to rest in stillness. Very slowly bring both palms onto your belly. And notice your body breathing, the rise and the fall. Step one foot in at a time. Draw knees into chest. Get hold of your thighs from behind. Rock back and forth. Once, twice, or even 3 times. Before you come into an upright seat, cross the legs in front of you. Closing the eyes down once again. Open the arms wide. Deep in-breath. All the way up and over heart. Bring palms to touch. Find the center line of your body. Park your palms in front of heart center. And bow down in front of yourself to give thanks for your practice, for the time you step onto the mat. Namaste. Lift the heart back up, reopen the eyes, and I thank you so much for taking this class with me. Hope to see you back soon.